Welcome back and thanks for staying with us. So we're starting off front page review today with The Nation, as usual. And the major headline is Governors back tax reform. The tax reform bill seek adjustments to the VAT. The Nigerian Governors Forum actually has said that they stand for equitable distribution of resources and the grey areas resolved, says Sule. Moving on to other news, foreign fighters behind terror attack in northeast, says the department, the DHQ, the Defense Headquarters. EFCC to arraign Otudeko Onosoya over alleged 123 billion naira fraud. Failure to defend budget will attract zero allocation. National Assembly frowns at tardiness. Lokbobiri, market forces would always determine fuel prices. Government-industry synergy is being sustained. The federal government has said that economic reforms on course despite Sanusi's doubts. Leaders should avoid partisan undertone. And U.S. honors for 6 Nigerians. Withdrawal from council polls unsettles Ondo. What story are we starting with?
Okay, so let me do the major headline. So we have a new development, a welcomed one. The Governors Forum yesterday, after sitting at a round table at the Transcorp in Abuja, decided to support. They said they are backing the continuous legislative activity happening around the tax reforms, and they have endorsed it. But they made some slight adjustments. One of which is, they proposed a stop to the increment of the VAT, and they revised the VAT sharing formula. So they said for equity, they will distribute resources at 50%. For derivation, 30%, and for population, 20%. So based on that sharing formula, states will know what they are getting. As a state that is deriving certain things, you get 30% of the entire tax. For equality, 50%.
So they supported it with an amendment.
For those that have higher population, they get 20%. They amended a lot of things. They also advocated that we continue to remove taxes from essential goods and agricultural produce. They also recommended that there should be the complete removal of the terminal clause that removes that stops TED fund, NASENI, Tertiary Education Trust Fund, the National Agency for Science and Engineering Infrastructure, the National Information Technology Development Agency, and all of those the clause should be put now, to be removed, sorry. And they also supported the continuous legislative activity happening around the tax reforms at the National Assembly. All governors were seated. The chairman of the Nigerian Governors Forum, the governor of Kwara State, headed and read out their communique at the end of the day. Governor of Nasarawa went on a TV station and also highlighted how this new arrangement favors the North. The North was loud on this matter. So I want to congratulate the chairman, the Presidential Tax Reforms Committee.
They are talking about the new arrangement favoring
he talked about how nothing was not favoring that. They were open to negotiations and they were open to more deliberations, and I like that it's showing.
Okay. So the Defense Headquarters yesterday attributed resurgence of terrorist attacks in the northwest and northeast to the influx of foreign fighters. The activities of the foreign fighters who serve as reinforcements for the terrorists are aided by local informants. This was said by Maj Gen Edward Buba. Also, Borno State Governor Governor Zulum, who lamented the killings and violence, cautioned residents against collaborating with insurgents. They're saying that, please, the fishing communities and the farming communities should stop giving information of the troops to terrorists, because that's how they now know what's going on, where they are at every given time to be able to fight them. President Bola Tinubu had 6 days ago ordered the probe of the January 6th terror attack in Borno State, which killed over 14 persons, including soldiers and, and citizens. Yes, and citizens. They also said that, he also said that as per the theme for this year is "Day for who, day for you." I beg, day for them, because they day for you. Yeah, that's great. Day for who, day for you. So they said, the military is saying, please, day for them, they dey for you. He also said
I
that...
think that's a good...
that's a good
slogan.
one. Yes, slogan.
Too.
Yes, so he said that over the past week that 159 terrorists were neutralized and 464 arrested for different crimes. He also said that troops nabbed 29 oil thieves and 29 oil thieves, yes, and also they rescued over 181 kidnapped victims. The UN also condemns this attack. Its humanitarian coordinator in Nigeria, Mohammed Fall, said the armed actors who perpetrated this attack must be identified and brought to account. But the Minister of State for Defense, Bello Matawale, said again and is calling for improved funding of the defense sector. He said that he made the appeal while defending the Ministry 2025 budget proposal before the Senate and House of Representative Committees on Defense in Abuja, where he described the ministry's current budget as insufficient, given the modern security challenges faced by the nation. He said that with the right equipment, we can significantly resolve the battle against terrorism. So please, let's help the military. They can help us.
Baby, sure
and
you
protect
there
us.
for me.
I there for you.
Yes,
because
yes.
that's what
If you
they
are
want.
there for them, they are there for you.
Exactly.
I have the one of food
Tell me
shortage.
your brain a DJ brain. I swear.
I have the one of food shortage in Nigeria, and this Nigerian-born founder of the Canadian Black Farmers Association, Tony Ajayi, has attributed the food shortage in the country to excessive exportation, poor attitude to local farming and insecurity, amongst others. In a statement, Ajayi said the continuous demand for Nigerian variety of food amongst the nation's citizens in diaspora has led to the exportation of the large chunk of food produced by farmers. He also noted that the new development had led to the hike in the prices of the limited available food in the country. He also mentioned that he urged the federal government to adopt the Canadian system of incentive farming and address the problem. The Ekiti-born farmer also said that apart from giving incentives to farmers, insecurity should be adequately addressed to boost food production. He also promised to create jobs in Ekiti for the youth in quest to assist the government in combating food security in the country. So,
as a frustrated farmer myself, as a frustrated farmer myself, I am also in that space where I feel anybody farming should actually be given incentives. In the least, seedlings, the level of theft that takes place within Nigerian farms and the level of food wastage that happens is huge. So, many farmers have stopped farming. Because of insecurity and because of the cost of seedlings. So whatever incentives can be given would boost food production.
Don't stop. That your sweet corn was sweet.
My darling, what they want to steal from me, it pass with how they make in the money. There was an allegation that there is a 12.3 billion fraud that EFCC is now going to be arraigning. So Nima will take that story later. Let's move on to the Punch, major headline from the Punch. Dangote refinery projects 650 barrels per day come June. They also plan to import crude. Facility now producing 500,000 barrels per day as officials look beyond Nigeria to meet demand for product. You can't miss a picture of state governors and stakeholders during the consultative session with the Presidential Committee on Tax Reforms in Abuja that took place yesterday. Nima already took the details of the story. Fubara Wike camps clash as police occupy Rivers PDP Secretariat. Ogun guard arrested for alleged defilement of a 6-year-old. INEC deletes 7,746 dead persons from voter registration. And the story, 12.3 billion fraud. EFCC to arraign Otudeko, ex-First Bank MD on Monday. We've taken the story about the terror attack being from foreigners, and the governor's new VAT sharing formula has also been taken. However, Pengasem projects petrol price hike as crude cost rises. What story are we taking before we can't take any story. We'll take a break. We'll take a short break. When we return, we'll continue with the front page review. Please stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.